Good afternoon. I would like to welcome everyone here today to the May 24th, 2018 meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Your participation, my goodness, they've put a new script out here and I don't even know what it says. Let me start that again. Welcome everyone to the May 24th, 2018 meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Your participation in city government is appreciated and welcome. If you do have a pager or a cell phone, we'd appreciate it if you turn that off now. Even in silent mode, it may interfere with the room's electronics. My name is Kathleen Hart. I'm chairman of this committee, and the members present today are, to my left, Christine Woodard, to my immediate right, Carrie Strayhall, and to my far right is Judith Lee. Jim Reistroffer is absent today with notice. Staff present today, we have Matt Flynn and Mallory Hoyt. The Zoning Board of Adjustment is a 5-member judicatory board established by state law. We're appointed by the mayor and confirmed by city council to serve without compensation for a 5-year term. We normally meet twice each month to hear appeals involving hardships from strict application of current zoning laws. We may also grant variances and rule on a variety of discretionary permits. We would look at the minutes from our last meeting. This would be minutes from the April 12th, 2018 meeting. Are there any corrections needed? If
I think it's April 26th, I believe.
Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong date. April 26, 2018 minutes. No corrections are needed, and if not, we take a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve.
Second? All in favor, aye? Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We have no old business on today's agenda. We have one item of new business, which is request HV 18-02 of Mark Katz at 5055 Garner Court for a hardship variance to allow a covered porch along the front elevation of the house to encroach approximately 10 feet into the front yard and be located approximately 15 feet from the front north property line. The property is zoned R4 PUD, Moderate Density Dwelling District. Section 17.42.040 of the Davenport Municipal Code requires a 25-foot front yard setback for this property. This is in the 8th Ward, Alderman Tompkins area. Matt, if you would be good enough to come up and present for the city.
Thank you. I'm Matt Flynn, Community Planning and Economic Development Department. Filling in for Scott Copes today, who I know has been working with the petitioner on putting together his application. I think the explanation in the packet is pretty good. I do have some slides to go through real quickly. Again, this is the subject property, and again, this is looking north. An aerial view, and this shows the location of the proposed porch, which is approximately 24 by 10, I believe. And we did send out notices within 200 feet. Did not receive any comments back from the neighboring properties. That shows the notice area. And we evaluate, staff evaluates requests for hardship variances based on the criteria within the code. This is a case not unlike a lot where it's trying to balance convenience with actual hardship, and consistent with our other recommendations. We believe that the proposed porch does, the house without the porch does not necessarily constitute a hardship. It would be merely a convenience to the petitioner, and because of the 3 of the findings up there we believe are problematic from a staff standpoint, so we cannot recommend approval. I know the petitioner's here. Would be happy to fill you in more on the status of his request, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Matt. Commissioners, any questions for Matt? All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Katz, if you want to step up to the podium here, give us your name, address, and present your information.
Sure. Mark Kotz, 55 Garner Court. My wife would have been here, but she broke her wrist, had emergency surgery this morning, so she's in bed right now.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Wish her well.
It's
for it.
because of the porch, actually, that's why.
Wow, you're really working it there.
Right, exactly, right. Basically, I believe it's a little bit more than 15 feet to the front of the sidewalk there, or from the back of the sidewalk to where actually the porch would be. I measured it last week. I was going to do that here this week, but we kind of ran into some emergencies here. So but I think it was closer to the actual 25 feet that he was talking about, from the sidewalk actually to where the porch would be. And yeah, it's you know, I looked at everything. It has no effect on any of the neighbors. We're at the end of the court. You know, and basically it'd be going from under the dormers, you know, just straight out, you know, the 10 feet to cover a porch that we'd be installing. So it's pretty simple on the right side of the door, and then it would go over to the garage, and then we'd cover the sidewalk there, ours.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Kotz? I did have one question. I'm not real clear on this. Were you saying that the proposed depth of this porch will now leave the 25 feet to the property line?
I believe it is, and I wanted to measure it before I left, and I was in a hurry to get here. I was going to measure again from the sidewalk but I know it's over 15 feet that it did state in there, because it was at least 20 to 25 feet from that front sidewalk, which you could tell from here, from that picture. You could tell it's a pretty good distance there. And I can remeasure it.
Well, there's a real simple issue. If it's 25 feet, then there is no issue here whatsoever. You're within code. If it's not, then we need to address that.
Do we have Google Map, Google measuring?
Excuse me, but do we have exact measurements on this?
We don't, and again, I don't know how Scott came up with the 15-foot measurement. One option for you would be if you believe that the 10-foot extension of the proposed porch is still in keeping with the findings for the variance. You could just simply allow for the porch, and whether or not it encroaches, you know, a foot or more than that into the required setback, that could be an approach to take. The other approach would be to actually go specifically measure and reconsider the matter at your next meeting when we have a more specific number in mind. But I was not provided specific measurements. Assumed what Scott prepared was correct, but I'm not sure.
Well, since we seem to have some discrepancy on this between our petitioner and the city's report, I think it's awfully important that we have accurate information before we make a decision. My concern driving by the property is that it appeared to have a pretty shallow front yard. That could make a huge difference on whether you get an approval or not. So I would propose, if someone wants to make a motion, that we table this for a cycle, and I would like both the city and the petitioner to get measurements of this property and let us know specifically what we're dealing with.
Is that from the sidewalk or from the street? I can't.
Matt?
Where's the measurement?
Typically, on a cul-de-sac, it would be 1 foot on the inside or house side of the sidewalk. But we'd be happy to meet with Mark and his wife on site and do a measurement and come up with something more specific.
That would be very helpful. Anybody interested in making that motion?
I make a motion that we table this for this round or this cycle and go out in favor of measurements.
Any second?
Second.
All right. Matt, if you'd call a vote on that.
I have a question, I
Yes.
guess. So like if it's 23 feet, is that going to cause a problem?
If it's 23 feet, then you do still need to get this hardship.
Sure. Well, I guess,
But if you're not, I mean, if you are at the 25-foot mark, then you're golden.
Oh,
So-
okay. We don't even have to do anything. I see what you're
Correct.
saying.
Right.
But if you're happy anyways, can we just golden it?
No.
So we don't have to come back in another month?
No. 2 weeks.
Oh, or 2 weeks.
All right.
I know. Wife's antsy, sorry.
All right. So after we.
Oh, so if it's 25, then we don't even have to come back anyways.
Correct. We'll have some official ruling on paper about a decision
Yeah.
that was made on that, but
And one thing we can do is if you're a foot short, maybe a 9 foot wide. So, we'll be happy to work with you to meet the requirements of the code. And if we need to come back, we'll be back at the next meeting, assuming
Yeah.
the vote to table
okay.
approves. Ready for the vote?
Yeah. Yes. Now that we've slaughtered Robert's rules, thank you.
Sorry. Woodard,
Yes.
Hart,
I should be last.
okay. Strayhall,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Hart.
Yes. Thank you. We will get some more information and hopefully have some definitive information for you in 2 weeks. Thank you for your time. We have no other business on today's agenda. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, Matt, he needs to come back and work with the city a little bit on this,
Yeah,
right?
we can arrange a time to go out there today. I'd probably go out tomorrow, meet with you if you're,
I'm actually volunteering for my daughter's school at Camp Lincoln,
okay.
so I'll be busy tomorrow. Actually, I'm going home now. My wife's there, obviously. I'm going to measure it right now. And I don't know the answer. I can just call you.
I'm looking at the clock. I could meet you out there right now.
Sure.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay. We'll look forward to the information. Anything else? Go ahead, please.
I move to adjourn?
Thank you.
There is one item on your agenda still, election
I'm so
of
sorry.
officers.
I did not see.
Thank you.
Thank you. By golly, it is. Apparently, it is that time to once again elect officers for the board. I guess so. It does fly. It seems like we did. We would entertain nominations for chair and vice chair.
I nominate Kathy for chair.
Second?
Well, I'm thinking Robert's rules, but do we need a roll on this, a roll call?
When in doubt, always.
Okay. Those in favor, well, excuse me, Matt, if you
Sure.
would call it then.
Woodard,
Yes.
Strayhall,
Yep.
Lee,
Yes?
Hart,
I don't believe I can vote for myself, so I abstain. And then entertain a nomination for vice chair.
Who's vice chair now, isn't it?
Jim.
Jim is
Jim
currently.
Reifstoffer is the current vice chair.
I move for Carrie, or Judy? Sorry, wait a minute.
I'm happy to, can you vote for somebody who's not here?
I don't know why not, I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
Sure. I believe you can.
I don't, yeah. I would.
I believe that we would have that, we could take a vote on this if he were to step down from that position. Yes?
Well, if he doesn't accept it, certainly somebody else, there'd be another vote for
Okay.
it.
I mean, I suspect that he would like to continue in that role.
That's what happens when you miss a meeting.
So we still do need a motion for somebody for vice chair.
I move Jim for vice chair.
I second.
If you could call the vote on that.
Yes.
Lee,
Yes?
Woodard,
Yes.
Hart.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you, Mallory, for correcting me on the agenda. I seem to be having trouble with paperwork today. We will take now a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And a second, please.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.